Purusha Pretham, the male ghost. I think such a good satire, a police procedural. It's a neo-noir film.
Yeah.
Like so much going on, and the visual style, everything. Like I think after the same director did Avasuvim,
Hmm.
which was one of my favorite films of last year,
I know how big
and
a
this
fan
year
you are.
also. Yeah, I met him. He drove he dropped me to my hotel
Oh,
in Kerala. So we chatted a lot, and he told me about the future things he's still working on.
did he tell you
I
about
cannot
this
say much.
male ghost as well at that time?
No, no, no. I think this was already in post production.
Okay,
So he was
so
talking about something he's gonna do in future. He's told me not to say anything.
okay,
It's still under wraps, and they're still
okay.
working on it. But it's very exciting what's coming ahead, guys.
Did you know at the time that
So
male ghost was about to come or something like that?
no, he said he's working on a film that's in post production.
Okay,
I didn't ask much. And then he was talking about he's actually was in going for a meeting.
okay.
It's for the future project, and it sounds very exciting. I think it will be like something big for Malayalam cinema.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, it was lovely, man. It was lovely throughout. I just felt it was tad bit long. Maybe could have been shorter because I could
Mm.
feel the length of it, but otherwise,
150 minutes, right?
amazing films. Yeah,
150-minute runtime,
two
like,
2 hour 30, some 40. I think 2 hour
yeah,
40 minutes.
like, I sometimes feel that much of a runtime might work in theaters, but not for OTT sitting at home. Like you have so much stuff to do around. Like you're like kind of like waiting for it to get over after a point.
It's more like I think for time I don't think about 2 hours 30 or not. I don't think like that. I think like by the end, right? I felt like, oh, this is the ending. I'm assuming this is the end point of the
Hmm.
film. But then the film still goes on. I think this is the end point. But it still goes on. It still goes on. And spoiler alert, but the ending scene in that house and what in the well, that's the end point. Again, the film still goes on and goes on, and then they show us what really happened. Then also the film goes on, and like I'm like, okay, I
You
feel
know,
the film is long.
I felt that way in Tu Jhuti Main Makar. Like every time I'm feeling okay, it's coming to an end,
Yeah,
and they keep adding some sort of
yeah,
nonsense after one. So like, so in this film, like, what really stood apart for you? Like, was it the technical brilliance, or was it the
everything.
storyline?
Like that's what I love. Even in Nan Pakkal, you take right,
Hmm.
like the concept of someone sleeps in the afternoon,
Hmm.
and that's a very Indian thing, right?
Yeah.
And you are in a way turning into a sci-fi supernatural thing. But the magic is you're not totally making it that, you're still feeling it vague and able to
Yeah.
tell a story through that. Here also, you're taking an issue of these dead bodies which are unrecognized, who don't know, and how that system works, in the research that has gone behind how they are dug up, and they're supposed to be 7 days in the hospital, but they cut down to 3 days because there's so many bodies. Like it's all, the film is not trying to make anyone villain.
Hmm.
Of course, talking about police brutality and how police works, but it's still not, it's like the situation is like that, the laws have to be mended, and you
Yeah.
have to find ways and get rid of things, and through that you are adding such a interesting characteristics.
Hmm.
You are bringing two storylines, and we think they're correlated, but they're
Hmm.
actually not. Then we find out about the Sarjan's character, what she's actually going through,
Yeah.
and how that has nothing to do with the cop, but he
Hmm.
still, because the cop had to face issues with because of that. And then his sub his constable, and
Hmm.
how from hierarchy of super, everyone police department, the top will shout at the bottom, he'll shout at the
Yeah.
bottom, he'll shout at the bottom, and repeat the same lines literally.
Yeah.
So there's so much elements you bring together, and then through that you tell a focused, like without any hindrance, a narrative
Hmm.
which is so like without any, what do you say, any issues, it's
Yeah.
directly telling you, it's doing everything well. It's not like just they just you call it a mess, right? Sometimes when
Hmm.
things don't work out, like there's so many elements, it's a mess. It's not that, and that's I think the beauty
Yeah.
of this film.
Yeah, screenplay is the key. I mean, not being a mess is, it all comes down to the screenplay and the edit, of course. But as we thought that it could have been a little shorter. It's like, if you had like that one last chance before the final edit goes out, if you had to make it shorter, like which chunk you thought was kind of
See,
stretched.
when I say shorter, right, it's not something when cut in edit. It goes into writing.
Okay.
That it's like you write in such a way that you cover all the aspects,
Hmm.
and everything comes together. But here what happens is, you think maybe this is the end, but
Hmm.
you have not resolved it, so you have to keep going.
Hmm.
So the way of resolving is not, I've not say done well, I would say done in a different way, what would I would expect it,
Okay.
and that's why I'll not call it an issue. I'll just call it, for me personally, I felt it was long, maybe in the writing or in the way they executed the last portion, last 30 minutes. In they could have, like, even I thought, I one wish they didn't had shown us what had really happened,
Hmm.
to keep it vague. Is he telling the truth or not? But then again, throughout the film, we always got to know what the truth is. It's not
Yeah.
like throughout the film it was vague.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they wanted to show what really happened. So yeah,
See,
but
that's yeah.
nothing like, edit. You can just cut out those things and it will not make
Yeah, yeah. No,
sense.
I was about to say that's how a true filmmaking school student speaks, right? So shout out to Whistling Woods. Because
Don't give them too much credit.
after framing the question, I thought, okay, that probably didn't make as much sense as it did in my head when it came out. Probably wrong selection of words, but you answered it very well.